In this Helldivers 2 video, we're going to be discussing 5 primaries that are universally elite versus all 3 factions. The list of primary weapons that are universally elite versus all the factions is very small because a lot of them fall short in one way or the other. They have something about them that doesn't make them good against one particular faction versus others. So again, this list is very tight and it was quite difficult to narrow it down, but I want to start off with some honorable mentions of things that were very close to making the list, but I just felt like they were just short for a couple of different reasons. The first honorable mention is going to be the double-edged sickle. This is actually quite strong against all 3 factions for different reasons. The fact that it can actually increase in penetration while you're shooting it is invaluable because you can get heavy penetration with 70 damage per second. That is really strong out of a primary weapon. You're going to absolutely melt many enemies on all 3 fronts. The biggest downside of the double-edged sickle and why it's in the honorable mention section is that you need to build into it in such a weird way. You have to run inflammable armor passive plus vitality booster in order to not take damage from this thing as it heats up, which is quite a deterrent because you can't just use it with whatever armor passive you want. And against certain factions like the bots, I want to use fortified. I don't want to always run inflammable armor passive unless I'm going against the incineration core. On the bug front, I may want to run extra padding or acclimated or even desert stormer. On the illuminate front, I may want to run extra padding or something. So again, I don't want to always have to run inflammable armor passive all the time just to use this weapon. So that's the biggest side effect of it in my opinion. The second honorable mention is going to be the torture. This is absolutely insane on all 3 fronts. It's very strong in the bot front because fire damage is very, very strong against the bot front. You kill Hulks very fast and kill various units very fast. It's extremely good, especially paired with the warp pack. On the bug front, fire is just extremely strong. Everybody loves it. You can use it with the hover pack. You can use it with the warp pack. You can just use it generally with the stalwart or things like that. It's very strong. And on the illuminate front, again, it's very strong for helping you clear the voteless, can help you with flesh mobs and all those various things like that. So it's very strong on all 3 fronts. Now, the reason why I put the torture here is because the crisper exists. I feel like you get more value out of the crisper and the same type of functionality. They have the same exact damage profile, just a little bit of a different ammo economy, and that's the reason why you would choose one or the other. So I would just simply bring my favorite primary with the crisper a lot of times more than I would the torture, and that seems like a much more valuable tool overall, especially on the bot and the illuminate front, because I don't necessarily want my primary weapon to be a flamethrower. I'd rather have my secondary that could just splash around and just lay fire down on the ground, do a voteless to help me with Hulks, and I get the same benefits. So that's the reason why the torture, in my opinion, is not in this list as well, because of the fact that the crisper exists. And number 5 is going to be the coyote. So the coyote is from the Dust Devils War Bond, and it is extremely strong in the game for quite a few different reasons. Has medium penetration, great range for an AR, fire dot damage, really solid ammo economy for a ballistic weapon, and just in general, it's cool. It's an AK that you can shoot enemies and catch them on fire. It's one of my favorite weapons in the game. Now, the cons of this weapon, it really is only one, is the fact that it is an AR, and compared to other weapons in the game, in terms of non-ballistic weapons, it's going to be a little bit more limited at chaff clearing and things like that. So you have to be smart with this weapon, basically tap up enemies, set them on fire, and that's how you get the better ammo economy overall. So the reason why I like the coyote so much is because it has medium penetration, so that makes it immediately versatile on all 3 fronts very easily. There's so many medium unit situations, from overseers on the illuminate front to devastators and berserker enemies on the bot front, to also you have things like the commander units, the spear units, and just in general, there's many different situations where medium penetration is very, very useful on all 3 fronts, as well as fire damage, again, like I spoke about with the torture, is very strong. And the fact that it only requires you to shoot an enemy with a few bullets and they catch on fire, you're going to get really good overall ammo economy and good value out of using this thing just by letting the fire damage do its effect. So in my opinion, the coyote is by far the most powerful ballistic weapon we have in the game because it does have that fire effect and gives you a ton of utility because it is medium penetration, which makes it immediately useful on all 3 fronts. Next up at number 4 is going to be the crossbow. So the crossbow is great at clearing chaff, has medium penetration, can take out objectives like fabricators, bug holes, and warp ships. It has a solid ammo economy. You have a ton of bolts to be able to go through at any given time, and is a decent option for elites if you hit them in their weak spot. The issues with the crossbow is that it does have a lower capacity when compared to a lot of other weapons in the primary category, and it's not good at close range because of the fact it is an explosive weapon. Now, the crossbow, again, is one of my overall favorite weapons in the game for its sheer versatility. It's great for being able to clear enemies very easily. You got packs of devastators, will help you clear them very easily, will help you clear packs of bugs, will help you clear Voltless and other packs of enemies. Can also work very well on flesh mobs. It can help you with tanks and hulks and things like that if you shoot them in the vent area. It's going to help you on the bug front with the chargers. You can actually shoot a little butt and kill them in about a magazine or so. Overall, again, the crossbow has tons of versatility for being able to deal different types of damage units. But again, the main thing for this thing is that it's going to be great for clearing any situation on any of the fronts. as well as, again, it's going to be great for objective clearing like bug holes. It's going to help you with fabricators, warp ships, just anything. It's going to be great for helping you with those things. And again, the versatility of the crossbow and the amount of utility it gives you makes it invaluable on all three fronts for different situations. Next up at number 3 is going to be the Scorcher. So the pros of this weapon are that it has very high damage, medium penetration, great fire rates, very, very low recoil. It's an explosive weapon, so will provide explosive type projectile damage. So it's great for multi-killing and things like that, and does a little bit of extra damage to weak spots such as charger butts and things of that nature. The worst thing about the Scorcher is its ammo economy. You don't get very many shots in the magazine, and also you will just chew through magazines very quickly. So if you offset that, it's one of the most powerful weapons in the game. It's just great on all three fronts because it provides so much utility for dealing with the enemies. It doesn't have a huge explosion radius, but it will multi-kill quite consistently. Just great for being able to take out spewer enemies very quickly. Great for the commander units. It's going to be great for dealing with the bots in terms of being able to shoot them in the face area and kill them very quickly on the Devastators, the Berserkers, or the Strider units and whatnot. It's going to help you with the Overseers, take them out very quickly. It kills flesh mobs in one magazine. Again, there's not much the Scorcher can't do, especially if you build into it with things like Siege Ready and the supply pack. And a lot of people are going to bring that stuff in just because the general utility from those two things is going to help your build as a whole. It's not so restrictive as running something like the Inflammable Armor passive with the double-edged sickle. So if you build into the Scorcher and actually build into the rest of your build around that, you're gonna have a very powerful build because the Scorcher can be the centerpiece, your workhorse, and you can just build around it with supply pack and the Siege Ready armor passive, and it makes this weapon just an absolute beast on all three fronts. It's by far one of my favorite weapons in the game to take on any of the three factions. And number 2 is going to be its big brother, the Purifier. So the Purifier has very high damage, has high stagger, medium penetration, large blast radius, has 2 different fire modes that are equally as powerful for different reasons, and it's just incredible for ammo economy. The one negative about the Purifier that a lot of people don't like is the fact that the main way to get the most damage out of this thing is to let it charge up. And outside of that, it's pretty much flawless. The clearing potential of the Purifier is elite. It can clear huge amounts of enemies very easily, from the bug fronts to the illuminate fronts to the bot front. It's going to help you clear enemies and packs of enemies very easily. And on top of that, while you're clearing them, it has an insane stagger. It's going to be bouncing enemies around, very similar to a Plasma Punisher. And again, it's basically a hybrid between the Plasma Punisher and the Scorcher, just a much more effective version of both of those weapons. And it's just so freaking good. Medium penetration, very large blast radius, you can take out many enemies at once, can help you with elite units from chargers, can take out Bile Titan sack areas really quickly. Will also be great for helping you with flesh mobs, being able to take them out very quickly with the charge up shots. And again, the ammo economy is so much better than the Scorcher. You get 15 shots per magazine, which is less than the Scorcher's 20 shots per magazine. But the thing is that you're going through these so slowly, and you get so much value out of each shot when you charge it up because it can clear so easily that it doesn't really matter. You're going to be wasting so much less ammo being able to take out packs of units or just units in general. Again, Purifier is just great from a crowd control standpoint, damage standpoint, clearing standpoint, helping you with just general things. And again, it's just too freaking good, and it's one of the best weapons in the game versus all three factions. Lastly, at number 1 is going to be no surprise. It is the Eruptor. So the Eruptor has heavy penetration, shrapnel bonus damage on top of the projectile damage that it can deal. It can destroy objectives, can deal high stagger damage to elites, great for clearing because of the shrapnel damage, and will destroy weak spots on enemies very easily. The biggest cons against this weapon are the fact that its bolt action is not really as usable in close quarters as I would like, and then also the low magazine count is very similar to the crossbow with only 5. But those weaknesses are basically not a factor because the value of this thing is incredible. The fact that it can clear things so easily because of the heavy penetration and the shrapnel damage makes this thing an immediate top tier choice against all three factions. You're gonna be able to blow through the bots very easily. You can blow through flesh mobs and voteless on the illuminate front very easily. You can stagger the hell out of harvesters if you want. You can also do incredible damage on the bug front from clearing tons of enemies very easily, from spewer enemies to commanders or whatever you want. Just whatever is going to just get erased by the Eruptor. As well as, again, it's going to help you with things like Bile Titans. You can take out chargers very easily if you shoot them in the leg or the butt area. Overall, again, the Eruptor is basically the best gun in the game for a reason, and is great against all three factions. Of course, it is limiting, but the limitations of this thing are completely overshadowed by the fact that it's just so elite. The clearing potential, the shrapnel damage it does, the direct damage it does. Again, this thing is pretty much impeccable in terms of how useful it is and how much it can actually dominate a game, from the standpoint of you don't really need much outside of just this to be able to clear and deal heavy damage to enemies. So the Eruptor is easily the best weapon in the game and by far the best weapon against all three factions. But all right, that's my full list of the top 5 weapons that I feel like are the best overall weapons against all three factions. What do you guys think about this list down in the comments below? Let me know what your list of all the best weapons are against the factions. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content similar to this. But anyways, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.